Well, good morning and thank you very much for joining us. A happy Easter Monday to you out there. It's a special Christian festival, shall we say. It's starting off from Friday, Good Friday, and today is Easter Monday. Good Friday was the horrible day. Some even call it a Black Friday because that was the day the Savior of the world willingly gave up his life for the sake of humanity. And so we continue that theme. But the difference now is that, of course, far be it from me to be preaching the word, but he is risen is the much that just about any Christian knows. And to share in that theme, that celebratory spirit of he is risen, he is alive, is Comrade Ayodele Adewale, APC Organizing Secretary, Lagos State Chapter. Comrade, happy Easter Monday to you.
Happy Easter, sir. Thank you for having me.
Indeed. I suppose that is the theme, the triumph of life over death. And there are so many analogies, I think, because this will be the president's kind of sentiment as well. So many analogies. Look, we've been in a bad place. And even as we are still in the ICU, intensive care unit, as a nation, metaphorically speaking, in recent times and right up until today, you can't take today out of anything, we see that there is life. This country is not dead, is not going to die. And there's that sense, I would imagine, that's one of the ways to look at Easter. Of course, there's also the fact that what we're symbolizing, the Lord giving up his life for humanity, I don't know. One has to be very, very careful here, but I suppose Nigerians are called upon, especially those who would be leaders, to do precisely that. Maybe they can't go as far, of course, as the Lord, but it's a matter of not in there for yourself, but you must be in there because humanity to one side, this country needs to be saved. And only those who feel that urge that something has to be done about it. That's what I've been hearing from religious leaders, state leaders all over the country, that we need to get a lot more selfless in the way we go about our job of governing.
Well, thank you once again for having me, and I say happy Easter to all Nigerians.
Happy Easter.
Well, it's a state or a stage that will pass, definitely will pass. And one thing that gladdens my heart is that the economists have not said that Nigeria is in recession or in a dire state of recession. So that means that there is hope in the Nigerian society and for its economy. And looking at how things have started moving up for good, you can see that the exchange of the naira to various currency have started, the naira started getting more strength.
Yes. And
that presents that there is a light, very big light at the end of the tunnel. And governance or government itself, it's a partnership. Yes, you have the government, key players, key actors that are there. But if you look at most developed clime, it's not only the government structure that helped to develop the space. The government helped to lay the template, quite frankly, for development. But we've seen key players, especially the citizenry, who have taken it upon themselves to also create opportunities, not only for themselves, but again for everyone within their space. If you look at the American society and the Western society, you see that most people are not keenly interested in seeking political power, but they are mostly interested in gaining economic power. And that is why you see companies like Google, Amazon, Apple, and the rest, their GDP, you understand, some of them are put together. It's even bigger than what you have in Africa. So my take-home or my advice would be that government invest more in education and human capacity building, which again will strengthen all of its integral structure towards development.
Okay. You know, looking at the Easter theme, and especially today, when far from being dead, Christ has risen. When you take that concept, I want to go back again because, this is not a religious program. We can only liken it to our lives and what we are doing and what our leaders are doing. Part of that, just a few days ago, I heard the president, he was heard saying, stop bad-mouthing Nigeria. Stop cursing Nigeria. He's putting that advice out. People's frustration was showing. Now, that's one person. I'm not saying by any means that he's the only one. That's one person that believes in not just the life of this country, but that it is going to be better. There is plenty of life in this country yet, and he's doing everything that he can to show this. Never mind what he brings to the table, but believing so much in the entity called Nigeria that it is a viable concern. And even though I made allusions to the metaphoric ICU earlier, even though, we are still in intensive care, nobody, not even the worst opposition of this government, will say that there are no signs that, there is vitality, there is life. It just needs to be nurtured. Unlike the idea of Easter where it has come, he has risen, and he's here 110% if that is possible. But we are seeing such positivity now from what is going on. I suppose the most visible one is the economy and the gains of the Naira. That's giving us a sort of an indication of what is yet to come. But there's no doubt about it that there's plenty of good left in the good old country.
Well, there's nothing wrong in using the term that you've used, ICU. The ICU is just a place for intensive care, specialized care, more attention. What is worse is when you go into comatose. That's one nobody wants to see.
And we were almost there.
You understand? So that is why you have to go into a space of intensive care where more attention, specialized attention be paid to the Nigerian economy, security, and all whatnot. You've spoken from the angle of theology. Very good, very, very good, especially as it concerns the Christian, living Christly life and the essence of the death of Christ and the resurrection that give hope to us, reconnecting back to the supreme being, which is God, and taking us to paradise, a place of comfort. The president talking that people should stop
cursing Nigeria. Bad-mouthing Nigeria.
You must appreciate that Nigeria is a brand, right? Whoever that is cursing Nigeria and in turn also want to govern Nigeria, by the time you destroy the brand, you sent out a negative vibe. Nobody wants to touch the brand. And when you, per adventure, get to govern, it will be very Herculean for you to rebrand what you have destroyed in order to attract the attention that is needed. And that attention, of course, is foreign investment, regardless of the local investment. But the foreign investment is needed more in order to gain those foreign currency and attention and partnership that is required. So rather than destroy the brand, you could focus on what is happening within the administration. If you feel that the way they are handling it is not in sync with the way you would have done it, then you bring out a workable solution, or you go into partnership. Look at Senegal and all of these countries. You understand? It's not about just crucifying the government, but give us workable solutions and show people that you are a team player, and for the purpose of country, the country must come first. But by the time you destroy, like war, by the time you destroy everything and you're coming back, you start from ground zero.
Well, it sort of keys into APC's, or is it the president's? In this instance, the two are the same, renewed hope agenda. That is both APC and Mr. President. From from the very beginning, even before he came on, he was talking about renewed hope. What is Easter if it is not a renewal of hope, especially Easter Monday?
It is renewed every year.
Yes, and it is renewed every year. And, Tinubu has been very, very insistent on the idea of it can be salvaged. It will be salvaged. It must be salvaged. And with you guys out there, we can do it. So that unity and compassion that he's called upon the people, if only they would sort of, if only we would sort of see our way a bit beyond all the problems, which the president has admitted. He's not even blaming us. He's saying, I hear it, I see it, I know your pain. And then he did a very difficult thing. He counseled that, just a little more. He's not saying it's over. He's just a little more, because at the end of that, everybody shall smile. That's his idea. That's what he's carrying along. Understandably, he's asking Christians to emulate the sacrifices of the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, that is a lovely ideal. That is a lovely ideal. It's an, it is what it is. Who can attain that? Because he put down his own life for the sake of the rest of us. But the principle in their selflessness, I think that much we can grab hold of. If indeed there is a, I don't know, and I don't want to sound churchy or preachy, but that much, if we can begin to be less self-centered in serving, that's something that everybody has a right to look to the administration for. Say, okay, if you're asking that from us, let's see how selfless you guys are being in there. So we can bring this conversation around to the president. We've seen, we've heard, we know what he wants. How about those around him? Are they indeed queuing up to share in his vision and run with his vision? The president clearly, I don't know him personally, but I don't think he wants anything from anybody. He just wants to work. He just wants to serve. I would just like to believe that those fine men and women that he has chosen, they're all on the same page with him, and I like that. Because that might be the beginning. That might be the beginning of helping the president and helping ourselves out of this situation.
In answering your last question with regards to the performance and selflessness of people around the president, if you remember, not too long ago, the president saddled more responsibilities and power on Ms. Adiza Bala Mohammed and all of that to put together a system where the KPIs of all of these people will be looked at and, of course, penciled down. And at the end point, the president will take a decision on it. So the president has provided opportunity for all of them. So responsibilities behoves on them to perform very well. But there's somebody there that is also watching their performance, and that's Ms. Adiza. And she's also taking notes. And at the right time, the president will take a decision on each and every one of them. But I want to believe that they are all doing their best to making sure that they give the president the right support that is needed. But in all of that, even when you have A-class students in a class, take a class of 50, and they need 10, definitely decision will be taken along those numbers. Looking at, taking it also from the point of theology, the way Christ lived and the resurrection and all of that, you will see that Christ never performed magic. He only did things in conformity to the dictates of his belief and that of his Father.
Indeed.
Right? When he turned wine to water, it wasn't magic. It was out of faith, right? And to please the people. Would you have said that Jesus was lavish to have taken wine and dying, quote and unquote, like some people would say, the sinners and what have you. He was trying to prove a point. When he turned bread, few bread to multitude in order to feed the people, he also understood that if you don't feed them, if you don't make them comfortable, they won't listen to you and they won't imbibe your teachings. So he understood all of these dynamics. And when the devil came to tempt him, like the opposition are tempting the president, he told them, get behind me. You understand? He still had to conform.
Comrade, I'm not sure I would liken the opposition exactly to Satan or the devil.
No, I'm not. I'm explaining things. You might not liken it, but when some people are telling you to perform magic.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
You can see the economic indices.
I see what you
mean. Even when key players in the monetary world, you understand, the regulatory system are telling you that, look, take away this, you'll feel pain for a while.
Yes.
And the president is always saying, yes, there are pains, but please bear with me.
Yes.
At the end of it, all these things become history.
Oh, okay.
And people want you to perform magic.
No, okay, in that sense. No. The Lord said that he does what his Father shows him to do. See, none of this is done of my own accord. Good morning, Reverend Dominic. Happy Easter Monday to you.
Good morning, Yori. Good morning to guest, my comrades.
Comrade Adewale.
Happy Easter to you, and happy comrade Adewale is a friend of mine. We have been talking for a long time. Happy Easter to you and all Nigerians.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yori, Nigeria can be savage, and it's so simple to savage Nigeria.
Sure.
The season we are is about sacrifice. I was on a media station where people misunderstood me. When a politician is talking about patience, I said Nigerians have been patient. What we want to see is our leaders show character, show sacrifice. Every Nigerian wants to see the best of Nigeria. But if it must happen, both the actors and non-actors must sacrifice. Everybody must put something on the table. The governance of Nigeria is not more for the president alone. Honestly, to be frank to you, this president has shown character. What is the character we're expecting for the president? Not a magician, but the one who can say, the ball ends on my table. The last government was like shying away from challenges, even to the head. But this one said, don't pity me. I beg for this job. I work for this job. I put my money down for this job. So I want to do the best of my knowledge. That is the best spirit, which means he's ready to sacrifice whatever his comfort to make Nigeria work. But if you must do that, Yori, his ministers, his directors, everybody on the chain must sacrifice. If we don't sacrifice, it will be difficult. In Nigeria, it's easy to turn around because we have whatever it takes. If Nigeria is still standing today, Yori, I'm a pastor. I know how people are suffering. Still, they have shown character that we can live to see a better Nigeria. What we need is sacrifice from head to toe. Patience is no part of it. We are patient already. I don't have life where I am here for over 3 months.
That's right.
I'm patient. Waiting one day things will get better. I'm using Generator to talk to you now. So it's not about patient. It's about we and the government to show sacrifice, to show Nigeria will work again. And everybody makes sacrifice towards it. And if we do it within 1 to 3 months, look at what is happening in Naira and dollar. But manufacturers are not, most of them also. You can buy a package of a particular let me come for that's something to mention. The package is big, but what is in it is little. That is not the president. That is the manufacturer cutting corners. You buy a liter of diesel, whatever the price, it's not up to a liter. That is not Mr. President. It's a fuel station manager that cheating. Instead of giving you 1 liter, he gives you 1/4 liter. We must make this sacrifice from A to Z. Nigeria is easy to salvage, especially in security area. Our soldiers are dying. They're making a sacrifice. We must make it work. That the soldier doesn't go to a peace mission in Nigeria where there's no civil war and he dies. No, they have paid. Our military have paid a spring sacrifice in this issue. We need to be patient. And everybody should be patient. I know Nigeria will be better with this government. God bless Nigeria.
Amen to that, Reverend Dominic, and thank you very much for that rousing message. In case anybody hadn't heard it before, or anybody is too used to the celebratory aspect. You see, there's a sense in which we talked about the metaphoric ICU that Nigeria is in a very dire state. I like the way Reverend Dominic put it. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has shown character. It is now for us to emulate him. I recall him saying that, look, it's tough. Please don't be sorry for me. I begged for this job, meaning I applied for it. I applied for this job. You gave it to me. And by God, I'm going to do it with you guys behind me. Reverend Dominic has just been talking about sacrificing, the needing for, and I was speaking to that before he came on, the need for everybody to be on board. You also said that, well, the president, some measures are being taken, there are, notes are being taken and all of that. And well, they should be taken, because there's a sense in which I feel, and here, let me just go off a bit like Jide Otitoju does from time to time. I think that it's very, very important that people be seen to be on board. And I think there's far too much celebration and church services and Thanksgiving services and all of that when people were selected for service, not for enjoyment, not for orire, when they were selected to come and put your shoulder to the wheel. And I guess there's a sense in which Nigerians want to see a bit more of that. Let the enjoyment quotient or to be fair, it just might be a perception from outside. The people inside might know that it's a very, very urgent job that they have taken, and they can very, very rarely wear metaphoric long sleeves. All of them have to have their sleeves rolled up, because that's the kind of job that Tinubu is doing, and I imagine that he expects to be done. It can't be business as usual. Reverend Dominic has been saying that we are listening to the president. When I say we, of course I'm a part of that we, but he's also speaking for those people who are trying to make sense of this suffering that Mr. President has said, I know, I feel it, I hear it, and it's not going to be in vain. But you see, people want beyond the talk. Reverend Dominic said it. Beyond the talk, let it show. Then it'll be easier for us to sort of carry on with you. No magic. You said it first. Reverend Dominic said, nobody can expect the president to come and do magic. But it must be seen that we are in dire times. And the last thing people want to see is any form of flamboyancy, any form of that kind of a thing. They just want to see what is being done to the situation that we have on our hands. And by all accounts, Tinubu has, he's been doing a good job. I think that's what's led to Dominic saying that Tinubu has shown character. Did you say there's someone else on the... Mr. George in Ikeja, good morning to you, sir.
Uncle Yari, good morning to the Honorable Comrade.
Yes, Honorable Ayodele Adewale, good morning to him.
Uncle Yari, those that are bad-mouthing Nigeria, they are not Nigerians. Anybody that bad-mouths his own country cannot be a true Nigerian. You don't do what is right and expect people to just rally around you and to succeed. In the history of mankind, whenever you want to do what is right, opposition must raise its head. Uncle Yori, I, as an individual, for a long time, had known that Tinubu was sent to this country from on high to reset Nigeria. And if you want to reset a country that is in so disorganized state, you must expect this kind of hula balloon here and there. But what I am glad about is his attitude to it. He is so focused. He knows how to go about it. He knows who to hire for it. He knows how to manage opposition. The numerous areas of opposition left and right to achieve it. So that is my joy in it. And I really wish that he will succeed. What I will always want to suggest is he's already doing it, monitoring the people he gives tasks to manage for him. We have seen like 5-6 ministers who are already, doing what we expect of them. Those that are not up to date yet must be brought up to date or changed if they have to be changed. Because it is not about individuals this time around, it's about the country. He has a maximum of 8 years to do what he has to do because he has to obey the constitution of that country. And I know that 8 years is enough for him to do it in such a way that after respecting this country, it will become almost impossible for
to take us back
to come and undo it.
Yeah.
That's the way we are going, and I'm happy about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Happy Easter Monday to you. Comrade Ayodele Adewale, APC Organizing Secretary on the chair this morning, Lagos State Chapter. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back and continue with this conversation and hopefully get your Easter messages and Easter, ideas on our country.